Well, hey there, gang. What's going on? What's up, Mizra? What's up, Satellite? PM Collector Boy? Worst Elephant? Hi, everybody. Happy Saturday. Hope you're doing well. I hope you're ready for a wild change of pace with some, I know, crazy Super Nintendo games tonight. It occurs to me, this entire week, we've just been playing Super Nintendo games. Monday to Friday, and now here again. So, I hope you're ready for that. I hope you signed up for that. But yeah, I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing good. Had a nice solid day. It's actually my younger daughter's birthday today. So we did some celebrating thereupon. Some presents. She wanted an ice cream cake. I just got finished noshing on that. That was super good. Looks like we might get some NES games here. That is true, yes. Actually, more likely than not, since it's right there on page 20. Bougie, man. Ice cream cakes do rule, yeah. I did a little bit of research, because I'm not, like, super well-versed in ice cream cakes. I had, like, one or two when I was a kid, but I think they were, like, just like grocery store brand or whatever. So I didn't know a whole lot about them. And she just wanted a vanilla one, nothing complicated. So we did some research and we were looking at like Cold Stone, Baskin Robbins. They were all like crazy fancy, had tons of mix-ins and flavors and stuff and things, and had to be ordered days in advance and stuff. Like, so I found me one of those listicles. We taste tested the top 6 ice cream cakes or whatever. And in this particular article, their favorite ice cream cake was Dairy Queen, of all things. But unfortunately, there's nowhere around here that makes Dairy Queen ice cream cakes. I think we only have one in the South Bay area, and it's just, yeah, it's just like an ice cream stand or something. But the second place was Carvel's, which I'd never had before. Like, apparently a lot of people are real nostalgic for them. They're like one of the longest standing ice cream cake brands in America. So we got one of those and we had it, and I gotta say, it was good. It was really solid. At late round, I missed 99% of what you were doing. Looks like you were playing a bunch of import. Yes, we did. We did an SNES import night on Thursday, and we had enough requests to fill a second night, so we just let it spill over into yesterday as well, since I didn't really have any pressing plans for Friday. But that's done and did, so we're back on the power hours now, and it should be fairly normal scheduling from here on out. We'll see. I think the whole cold marble slab angle is just... Oh, yeah, totally, yeah. Well, I do, like... I think the thing about Cold Stone is, like... They're not just serving you ice cream out of a tub. They're kind of kneading it into a different consistency and, like, adding in other stuff that you request. I do think that's a little more than a marketing gimmick. I do think it makes the experience a little bit richer, for lack of a better word. So, not enough for me to actually pay for it under most circumstances, but I do think it's kind of special. What's up, Chaos? Good to see you. Thank you for the, God Christ, 230 stream streak. Good Lord. Much appreciated. Amazing y'all stick around for this night after night after night. But I'm thankful for it. Believe you me, I'm very glad we can come out here and talk about this stuff. Like at least 1 week. What's up, F-Zero Racer? Good to see you. And a few consistent things in my life, GPG streams. Well, you know what? I'm happy I can oblige. I'm happy that I can be an irreverent rock in your tempestuous existence. These streams are kind of the same thing for me. It's nice to have a a constant outlet, something to do every night. It's a little bit social, a little bit creative, builds character, therapeutic. It's the total package. Unless we have to play Booger Man. I'm not looking forward to that. So yeah, today I was mostly doing chores and birthday related stuff. I got like an hour in the afternoon to kind of sit still for a minute and do my own things. So I started up a new colony in Farthest Frontier, and it is good. Since the last time I played Farthest Frontier, they added a tech tree, which I haven't messed with enough to really get a sense of how it impacts the game. I think it's probably overall a good addition. Because before you just unlocked buildings by upgrading or building other buildings. Now there's certain things that you gotta pull out of the tech tree, along with some bonuses and stuff to make things flow a bit better, and that's been nice. I have noticed some of my early game industries have been running smoother thanks to the advent of the tech tree, so I appreciate that. But yeah, it's a very of all the like kind of like survival wilderness village builders out there, those of banished ilk, I kind of find Farthest Frontier to be like the coziest of them. It's not like easy or anything, and there's actually an entire like real-time strategy military angle to it, but it's the vibes. Like it has a similar aesthetic to Grim Dawn, and it's actually, as far as I know, it's set in the same world. You'll actually see some of the same characters show up after a while. But here it's much more, it's played much more pastorally. There's no eldritch beings or possessed things. And the soundtrack does a lot for it. The soundtrack is really, really, really nice. Nice Striker Gears, the real McCoys. I just equal an aging game. Glares the Panzer Dragoon Sway remaster. Sometimes they just don't get it, do they? Sometimes they try. Their heart may or may not be in the right place, but the result certainly isn't. So. But yeah. I love Grim Dawn, and I love Farthest Frontier, and I'm very happy with Crate Entertainment. I hope they make stuff for a very, very, very long time. I hope they make a Grim Dawn too, honestly. I know they're still working on Grim Dawn. They've got a big new expansion coming next year. But at some point, I do kind of hope that they just move on to a Grim Dawn 2, because there's a lot of stuff they can do with that setting. And there's a whole lot of stuff that is not resolved by the time you finish all of Grim Dawn's current content, at least. And I don't think the next expansion, Fangs of Asterkarn, I don't think it's going to answer too many of those questions. Grim Dawn 2, Grim Noon. God damn it. But no, like, okay, so quick primer for anyone who's not intimately, overwhelmingly familiar with Grim Dawn. It's a fantasy world with their own pantheon of gods, and a double apocalypse has happened. An eldritch Cthulhu adjacent death god has been plotting its return to remake the world in its own image for centuries, if not millennia. And right on the cusp of its great advent, these ghostly, ethereal beings from another plane of existence popped in and just ravaged the entire planet. So now the few humans that are left are rallying together and trying to fight back against both the ethereals and the chthonic. Okay, if you have both of the current expansions and you finish everything, then the chthonic invasion is on hold. and the ethereal invasion is dealt a significant blow, but they're still in control. They've still won the war. They call billionaire great old one Eldritch Subshadows. And then you get some interesting backstory on some of the lesser known gods too. But I would hope that Grim Dawn 2 would focus more on like the rest of the ethereal invasion. And you know, maybe touch on more chthonic stuff. But the main thing that's left dangling after you finish Grim Dawn is like the planet is still well within the clutches of the ethereals. And you end Grim Dawn 1 with a good foothold to strike back against them. But you never get to the capital, like the major city, where which is basically ground zero for the invasion. So I'd like to imagine that Grim Dawn 2 would focus on that, but I don't know how long they're gonna mine this particular vein of content. So yeah. How about that Hong Kong 2097? I have no idea what that is. Trying a cute little gay rom-com anime called Sasaki Miyano. Miyano? Nice, cool. Hope that's working for you. And expecting a Bubsy 40 from it. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm gonna be playing Farthest Frontier for a while. After that, we'll see where I end up. May jump around a bit or something, but I'm a little hesitant to start any new big games on my own. With my part-time work starting next week, so we'll see. I'll have to settle into a new normal, and that's gonna require some video gaming to keep me stable, I think. Content layout this issue is really good. They've gotten better with it lately. They have, yeah. I'll give them credit. The color balance here is well thought out. Yeah, the text alignment is very cool. It's good. Yeah, it's just a little something to keep the lights on. So I'm not thrilled about it, but I'll talk more about it once I get started, I think. This toxic couple you ever see. Good evening, Latcher Spice, though. I didn't say so already. Ethereal versus Chthonic, just green ugly versus red ugly. No, actually, there's some really neat story stuff in with them. Like the Ethereals. I'm gonna get a little bit into the lore of Grim Dawn for a second here, chat. So if you're super precious about the story and a mostly crunchy systems ARPG, tune me out for like the next 5 minutes or something. But yeah, the Ethereals, the whole thing with the Ethereals is the mages and sorcerers of the human world of Cairn pierced the aether and made contact with these non-corporeal beings. And these non-corporeal beings were like, whoa, having a corporeal body looks pretty cool. Why don't we take them all? So the Ethereals banded together and launched a full-scale invasion of the human world so that they could have bodies and lovely flesh vessels to play around with. And over the course of the game, you get some pretty wild like body horror and stuff out of that, but you also learn that the Ethereals are not like this monolithic force. There are some that don't agree with what's going on, who feel like the like ethereal society has been like corrupted or somehow lessened by attaching themselves to these bodies. So there are hints of schisms appearing within the ethereal ranks anyway. And yeah, you can tell from some of the bosses and some of the ethereal corruption that it's like it hasn't worked out exactly the way they thought. On the chthonic side, Those people are just lost. The ethereals, you could make an argument that the ethereals are misguided. They do some absolutely heinous, like, unforgivable shit. But they're not necessarily, like, pure evil. The Chthonics are. The Chthonics are literally from a dimension of pain and suffering. Like, they're trying to bring about the literal end times, whereas the ethereals just want to take over civilization. So, yeah. It's interesting. It's really interesting. And it's interesting to jump between fighting the two and coming to battlefields where they're both fighting each other. So yeah, there's a whole lot they can do with it. There's a whole lot that they can do with that. You do, over the course of the game, you get some information on, like, the hierarchy and inner workings of the Cult of Cthon, but it's mostly just, like, evil, crazy people. So the ethereals narratively are more interesting, but it's a good balance. It's a good balance. Like, nuanced evil versus just reprehensible. Gotta get live with one of the pro tags instantly asking, what does slash art mean? Don't ask your friends either. So yeah. Anyway, chat, I think we should get to it. I think we should go ahead and jump in. There are more games in here than I was expecting. More stuff that may arrest our interests tonight. So we need to talk about what we have to look forward to and see how far we get into it tonight. But before I do that, I gotta give you the schedule reminders, especially since we're getting on towards the end of October. Do we need more than MK3 though? I mean, debatable. I mean, for my money, Super Return of the Jedi is in here. But we'll get to that in a second. Tonight, of course, is the Power Hours chat. This is the very beginning of November 1995. You're here on the ground floor of 30 years ago in gaming. Congratulations. Tomorrow night is nothing. I'm not doing anything tomorrow night. I'm having a nice, relaxing evening, I think. Monday, we'll be back with more Final Fantasy IV. We'll be heading down into the underground and seeing what's happening there with the Dark Crystals. And Final Fantasy IV will continue Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday until we're done with that. Which I guess is going to roll over into November. Because I don't think we're going to finish... No, I'm sure we're not going to finish it next week. There's too much to do still. Power Hours will continue Thursday and Saturday of next week. And then next Friday, the final night of October, Halloween night itself, is going to be our October Community Night. We're going to be checking out some of y'all's first horror game. There's some big names on there. There's some unusual names on there. Should be a nice evening of variety. And then, chat, we're off into November. So next weekend, hopefully I can remember to select a steward of the November Community Night, and we'll just see where we go from there. Everything's kind of seat of pants right now. We're in a transitional period here, chat, as I attempt to keep my psyche together. But anyway, welcome one and all to November of 1995. This is, well, there's this ad. We can talk about this in a minute. This is the MK3 cover feature with the... What the hell game is this from? Albert Odyssey. I don't think that's Albert. Yeah, it's the MK3 cover feature with some hilariously 90s 3D text and pretty sad looking... Is that Sector or Cyrax? Fuck, I can't remember. I think it's Cyrax. Alberta Odyssey. Terrible drawing is what it is, yeah. think it's Cyrax. I think Sector's the red one. I think Cyrax is the yellow one. Sectorax. Oh, somebody need to resubscribe here. Slap that sticker on there. But there's gonna be some more KI info. Spider-Man, Boogerman, Christ. Secret of Evermore. Game Boy Killer Instinct. And then this. After Jimmy quit his job at the Mega Mart, he set out to find answers to questions way deeper than where's the cheddar whiz? I don't know what this has to do with Nintendo Power, and I'm not bothering to read this 90s ass copy to find out. We're just gonna move on. I wish there was a game called Don't Stop Girly Pop. Nice. In a very good mood. Finally got to the point of my Sonic Marathon spreadsheet. I can see the Ken Pender shit getting canned. Ah! Light at the end of the tunnel. Nice. Alright, so this issue, obviously, Mortal Kombat 3 is the big draw. We've also got another Spooderman game. Spooderman and Venom Separation Anxiety. Big Sky Trooper. I think maybe we tried this one night or something. Boogerman, unfortunately. We're gonna have to see what kind of mood I'm in when we hit that. Because I am tempted to just blacklist that up front. We got Zoop. If you don't know Zoop, it's a pretty neat puzzle game. Waterworld, pretty sure this is the absolutely trash-ass Virtual Boy one. And then Virtual League Baseball. Killer Instinct, apparently has KI on the Game Boy. Super Return of the Jedi, we all know and love. And Defender/Joust. I think the Game Boy greatest hits are rolling on. Epic Center. We got the news, we got the Wizard's Realm, Secret of Evermore, and some epic strats. 2 special features this time. The first one has the potential to be very interesting. An NES Anniversary Special. Down here in the center, we can see this month we're looking back a full decade to the introduction of the NES, the system that brought video games back to life with the help of a pair of plumbers from Brooklyn and a robotic operating buddy. So there might be some good shit in there that we want to revisit. And then there's some sports stuff. And it's going to hit early, too. Page 32. So I'm not looking forward to that. And then every issue is every issue. So. Waterworld Virtual Boy game with a particularly egregious bullshot the previous Virtual Boy Yeah. Boy, that was some wishful ass thinking, wasn't it? That Waterworld game is terrible. It's so sad. Yeah, I want to go, I want to go do, naval combat in a game where, the ocean is just a black, featureless void. Great. I love it. So yeah, that's the plan, chat. That's what we're doing. So I'm going to turn the page. I'm going to open requests. We're going to get to it. And we'll see where the night leads. So, give me a second here. Let me get your requests up. We got that, and we got that. All right. We are ready and raring to go. Not to be confused with Zool, not to be confused with Zool, not to be confused with Zoot Suit. Sports stuff is going to be particularly boring from here on out. Say hello to glorified reskins of last year's game because the PS1 is out, so we're making actual games for that. Homer did call the sea wine dark, but for fuck's sake, it ain't that dark. Yeah. Alright, this month, what are we talking about? As is the case with most magazines, yours is great, but I can still find a few areas I'd like to see improved upon. First, I normally like the reviews. I feel that many of the articles are for 3-year-olds. Really, I think we can handle a little more than what you're giving us. Second, while I like Donkey Kong Country, it is not the best game ever, as you seem to think. Every issue lately has had something related to DKC in it. It's getting a little annoying. Sorry if I sound like one of those people who can never be satisfied. I'm not. Still think your mag is super. It's just a few minor flaws. I don't know what he's on about with the articles for 3-year-olds or whatever. But yeah, if they wanted to cool it on DKC, I think it's about time for that. One of my favorite sections of your magazine is Player's Pulse. I think you should make it larger. You should print more letters and print the envelope art bigger. This sentiment comes around every couple of months when Nintendo Power is soliciting feedback. on the magazine. People always want bigger players ball sections, and they never do it. They literally never do it. And for a while, they weren't posting any envelope art at all. Which, frankly, is pretty fucked up. So the envelope art is the highlight of this particular feature. I wanted to cool out on the Super Game Boy for 2 years. Fucker just ignores all the Super Game Boy shit, but DKC is a no-go, yeah. I recently finished Earthbound. I loved it. I played many good epics such as Secret of Mana and Final Fantasy III, but Earthbound's humorous graphics and dialogue, plus its vibrating battle backgrounds, made for an interesting, fun, and difficult journey. I have a few questions. Will there be an Earthbound 2? Pokey seemed pretty set on revenge at the end of this one. Second, what were the models of the heroes and monsters in the Earthbound Player's Guide made of? Well, actually, Earthbound is a sequel. The original NES game wasn't published in North America. No word on a third installment. The models were made of clay for the Player's Guide in Japan. Cool. So sorry, child. Mother 3 cries. It's up, boot blacking. I mean, technically, there was an Earthbound 2, eventually. Someday, sort of. I am concerned about the NU64. My reason is temptation to buy another system, namely a Sega Saturn or a Sony PlayStation. Oh boy. Oh boy, shots fired. I've been a loyal buyer of your products and have never bought any other system. I've looked at pictures of Nintendo Power of some of the games and they look great, but April 1996, when the NU64 is scheduled to ship, is a long time away. I want to get one, but it might be too late. There might be a rival system beside my TV by the time the NU64 comes out. We hear your concerns, Rhett. You can bet that we thought about them before making the decision to delay the NU64. Take a look at this next letter. Over the years of reading many so-called non-biased video games, my impression is that these magazines are indeed biased against Nintendo. In almost every situation when there's a chance to compare Sega and Nintendo, most of these hotshot editors are immediately brown-nosing Sega, praising it for bringing out its systems first. The only reason for that is Sega is more concerned with beating the competition at the starting line than with the overall quality of its products and the true gaming experience. To me, the delay of the NU64 just strengthened my faith in Nintendo even more. Nintendo's reason for the delay: we want to give our programmers more time to study the capabilities of the Ultra so we can create truly awesome games. This proves to me that Nintendo cares more about quality of its games and the gaming experience for players. Nintendo's priorities are straight. I'm not even sure we have the capacity to make a jerk-off motion this big. Plenty of boot for you to lick. Chat, I feel blessed that I can provide for you all this crystal clear window to the mindset of the console wars gamer of the 1990s. I can't read this next letter we fucking wrote. Is Sega really competitive with Nintendo? I know there's a rivalry. Was any genuine reason? Oh God, yes. Are you kidding me? Jesus, holy God, yes. Yeah, the 16-bit era, they were at each other's throats. The Genesis was huge. The Super NES was huge. The Genesis was huge. And then, yeah, and then following the wild success of the Genesis, Sega just proceeded to step on all the rakes. Like, every rake they could find in the yard. And, like, Nintendo didn't have the easiest time with the Nintendo 64. It was late. It was not what people were expecting. They really should have been more concerned about the PlayStation than about Sega. But ultimately, the Nintendo 64 was a successful system and had some all-time great games for it. But yeah. No, the console wars of the 1990s were not just like like ginned up fandoms. Like there was some serious heat on the competition there. Nintendo was very, very concerned about Sega, and they realized too late that they need to be concerned about PlayStation. Sony was just like trying to get their foot in the door. I mean, it's always hard for a new company to muscle in on the game industry, but they made a very solid start of it. And like I said, Sega started out strong and then just stumbled one after another after another. Sounds a good system. Sega rushed it out, didn't localize a lot of system sellers, and then bragged about how it wasn't their future. Yeah. Yeah, the Saturn was just like a huge own goal. Unfortunately. And it didn't have to be. Mad respect for the Saturn as games, love Knights, so many great shmups, but lol. First time Nintendo had actual competition for a bit. Yeah. I mean, yeah, the NES was kind of allowed to fly solo, you know, and single-handedly save the video game industry from itself. And then they were able to segue straight from that into the Game Boy and the Super NES. But during the Super NES's run, then you had the Genesis, the PlayStation, so on. Atari fucked it from the start and then somehow updated it to be worse. Yeah. PlayStation is just an okay, F you, Nintendo will do it ourselves. And they sure did, man. They sure did. So yeah. But yeah, as much as I hate to say it, chat, the console wars were real. They were a thing. Companies were butting heads over this stuff. And they just turned all of us fans into mewling sycophants. That what sold the system in Japan and America was very different in Sega's case, so it caused a lot of confusion. Barely cognizant at this point in my life. I know Sega pretty much died ASAP, so I wasn't sure. It wasn't ASAP. Sega held on until the early 2000s in terms of hardware. You know, the Dreamcast launched in 1999 and lasted 2 years? 3 years? I can't remember when I got... I think I got my Dreamcast in 2001 after they discontinued it. So. But yeah. And then, I mean, they just kept making games after that. And, I mean, they seem to be in really good shape right now. They seem to have a strong lineup of titles and franchises, and they seem to be handling them well. Yeah, and Sony could not stop Sega. Nintendo could not stop Sega. Only Sega can manage that, and they sure did. Where Sony euthanized the Saturn with 4 syllables. Yeah. Sega's management has apparently been super strong lately. I mean, like, just look at the games they've been putting out. They've been putting out really solid stuff. They have a really, really good mix of like classic and first party franchises, but also, you know, licensed stuff. $2.99. I like Sega too. They seem like a really solid company at the moment, so. Doing better than Konami, that's for damn sure. Isn't everybody? Last year by Metacritic score, they were straight the best publisher. Wow. Was unaware of that, but I feel like that's pretty well deserved. But yeah, they've been notching wins for a while lately. So maybe, you know, it's funny the way history turned out. Maybe they were just better off being a software company than a hardware company. You know, not everybody has it in them to create and curate an entire game system. You know, we've seen plenty of failures, and we've seen plenty of failures from otherwise successful companies too. You know, like Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft have all had consoles that were flops. All of them. Persona 3 Reload, Unicorn Overlord, Metaphor, Shadow Generations were all insanely strong. And I mean, again, like their third-party games are a pretty big deal too. Like, you gotta remember, like, Sega, yeah, they do Sonic, they do Persona, they do all this other stuff. But like, you know, they're also the people publishing the 2-Point games. 2-Point Hospital, 2-Point University, 2-Point Museum. They're the company that publishes the Total War games. So yeah, they know what they're doing. They got a lot of good stuff out there. Total War is their baby right now, yeah. I don't have a hardware system that flopped, I'm just built differently. Cannot underestimate the value of owning Atlas. Yeah. That's I'm sure Atlas is a big one for the fans. But yeah. Anyway, right here, we got some stuff about another Nintendo Players Poll Contest winner. Grand prize winner for Nintendo Power Volume 72. Chris Estrada enjoyed good luck every step of the way as he claimed his prize, a trip to the Bass Masters Classic in Greensboro, North Carolina. I used to live near Greensboro. Hickory, North Carolina was not far. First day out, Chris snagged a fish almost as soon as he dipped his hook in the water. It was a catfish, not a bass. And alright, it was pretty puny. But Chris immediately picked up the anthem of Fishermen Everywhere. You should have seen the one that got away. Chris also snared the autograph of one of the pro anglers, Mark Davis. The next day, Mark scored a tremendous come-from-behind victory to win the Classic. Chris also won a boatload of prizes, including Bassmasters Classic from the Super NES, THQ. Chris even battled the bugs to watch the pros launch their boats at 5:30 in the morning. Now that's dedication. Hell yeah, Bassmasters. Or an Assmasters myself. Power charts. What's charting this month? Pretty much the same stuff as last month. On the Super NES, Killer Instinct, still #1, because of course it is. Donkey Kong Country, despite being the greatest game ever made, of all time, without question, slipped to #2, and it is sitting comfortably in #2, behind Killer Instinct, which isn't the greatest game of all time, but, you know, ours is not to question why, chat. And then Chrono Trigger jumped all the way up to #3, despite not being available yet. And then we got Zelda, Link to the Past, hanging on for 46 months. Super Mario World 2, Yoshi's Island, Final Fantasy 3, what we now know as Final Fantasy 6, Mortal Kombat 3 is already here. Super Metroid, Earthworm Jim 2, which isn't even out yet. Doom, and that forms a top 10. Earthbound in 11, then Secret of Evermore, which again isn't even out yet. Ogre Battle, MK2, Secret of Mana, Ken Griffey, Earthworm Jim, Illusion of Gaia, Super Mario Kart, and Mega Man X2. Imagine if Chrono Trigger just absolutely blew. I mean, that would be heartbreaking, really. I can't imagine a world where Chrono Trigger sucked. Oh, are you looking at the top 10 RPGs already? Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. Actually, you know what? Since we got a request out for DKC2, let's go ahead and get that done. Let's do that, and then we'll talk about the rest of the charts. Oh man, playing some Super NES games tonight for a change, chat. How exciting is this? Which one? I think it's this one. Virtual Boy Top 5, all the games that were released. Yeah. What's the point, Nintendo Power? Actually, the really fun part is going to be seeing how long they're going to have a Virtual Boy chart. Oh no, Shadows, no! What are you doing? Alright, here we go. 17% done. Oh right, we need to leave. Good news! I'm Funky the main monkey. My new Funky's flights can take you anywhere on Crocodile Isle, provided you already checked it out, of course. Here's on over the barrel, man, and ride the skies. Oh, I can't hire the plane. Can I just go from like the... I can't. How do I get back to where I was? Do I have to do the kiln again, or what? Do I need to grind coins to get out of here? I just want to leave. Chat, why is this game like that? I'll just do the kiln again. It's not that bad. It's a dumb fight, but it could be worse. Wonk! 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 Ow! Oh, there's coins up there. Wonk. Oh Lord, he coming. Ah! Yeah! No! Come on, man. This is such a dumb fight. If I'm gonna lose one of them, I want to lose Diddy. I think you save state in his zone. No, I didn't. Nope, I'm using the in-game save system, which is jank as hell. Ah, shit. Okay, cool. It's dead. Capitalism ruins everything, chat. It's gonna suck when this doesn't actually punch you to the next zone. Oh, thank Christ, it actually did. Okay, Barrel Bayou. Okay. Onk! What the hell? Is that a flying coat? Oh. Those fuckers. Oh god. So these are timed manual barrels, huh? No, give me my... You fucker. Those guys love something as much as they love being bad guys. Timed manual underwater escort barrel. Nyop, nyop, nyop. No! I knew that guy was coming, too. Can I point something out? This game actually makes you pay to save your progress in specific spots and still doesn't save how many lives you have. Like, that's really shitty. Like, if you're gonna make the save system more onerous, it should do more. Fuck's sake. Need a guy's face looking shocked over a picture of a barrel. Ow. What a dick. For hours, a barrel challenge gone wrong. Oh, I could have had a rhino. Could have gone that way. What the hell? Oh shit, okay. Ugh. Oh, they want you, okay. They're teaching you how to hook it. Wait, how am I supposed to... What the... Those guys are fucked. Oh, that was the wrong way. Because I figured the kids will be redoing levels anyway, get DK coins to rebuild their coins easily. Well, they were wrong. It's not how it... Oh god, it's dark. What the hell, man? This one is ass. Oh, are you fucking kidding me? Oh my god. I am really starting to question all the praises I've heard sung about this game. Ugh. I hate it. I hate it. At least it's not on a timer. Did a race something awful? The race, one of the racers, I put a gif of a bunch of people clapping over the part of the video while I was here. Smart. I wonder if there's a way to get through this level without turning around. That'd actually be kind of neat. God damn it. Ow. I wonder if there's a way to hack the ROM to... Of course there is. There has to be. In fact, there probably is a ROM hack of this game out there without the stupid flashing light. Fuck. Let me out of here. Let me out of here. Just let me out of here. Let me out. Let me out. God Christ, let me out. No, no. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, I've had enough. I've had enough. I've kind of decided I don't think DKC2 is for me, chat. I don't like it. Is it buffering for y'all? Huh. That's weird. What's going on? Ew. I'm getting some drop frames on my end. I'm not sure why. It's pretty bad, actually. Oh, that's really bad. That's weird. I don't know what's causing that. Save so many dragon coins now. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are. Because I think I've had it with that one. Huh. Okay, seems like it's getting better. Sounds like it's from a racing game. I believe you are correct. You're not. It's from Der Langrisser, as it turns out. Seems stable now. I think we're good. I think we're okay. I don't know what the hell that was all about. Maybe it really was DKC2. Maybe Twitch just hated it that much. Well, whatever the case, we're done with that. Alright, anyway. Game Boy Top 10. This one actually seems to have been reshuffled a little bit. Link's Awakening is back on top, followed by Donkey Kong Land, Metroid 2, Tetris, Kirby's Dream Land 2, Galaga and Galaxian in number 6 for some reason. Wario Land, Super Mario Land 2, Donkey Kong, and Asteroids Missile Command. I don't get what these are doing here, frankly. I don't understand why they're on this chart, so. DKC2 is proper course. Honestly, like, I generally don't care about flashing lights. I know folks in the audience do, so I try to avoid them. They don't bother me. That was actually hurting my brain. Like, that was actually starting to give me a little headache. Nintendo Power trying to get us by and play more of the DKC games. Well, they went about the wrong ass way. Because I ain't having that. Alright, top 10 RPGs, chat. Alright, number 1 is Chrono Trigger. Number 2 is Final Fantasy 3 and Final Fantasy 6. Earthbound in third. Kinda surprised they didn't fudge the numbers here and shove it up higher. Then Secret of Evermore, the game that isn't out yet and nobody's played yet. Secret of Mana, Final Fantasy 2, Brandish. Not what I would have picked. Tecmo's Secret of the Stars, definitely not what I would have picked. Then Breath of Fire and Ultima 7. Basically drawn from a hat. Meat Circus and Psychonauts is another pretty significant at that level for you. Ominous to see this compilation of old-ass arcade games placing this high on Game Boy. World's biggest Game & Watch Gallery fan. And yes, this time they've decided to do a Virtual Boy Top 5. This month marks the first chart for Virtual Boy games. Be sure to check out this issue for exclusive reviews of 2 brand new games, Virtual League Baseball and Waterworld. Exclusive reviews, because nobody else on Earth gives a shit about them. And then real quick, I'm going to talk about the most wanted right here. Number 1 is the Nintendo Ultra 64. Number 2 is Virtual Boy. 3 is Killer Instinct on 64. 4 is Doom 64. 5 is Cruis'n USA 64. 7 is Robotech on Nintendo 64. 7 is that piece of shit we just played. Number 8 is Mortal Kombat 3. 9 is Killer Instinct. And 10 is Chrono Trigger. First and only Virtual Boy chart. I can't wait. I can't wait to see this chart just like vanish into the ether in a couple months. It could be gone as soon as January when they do the whole style update for the magazine. But yeah, a Virtual Boy Top 5, Galactic Pinball, Red Alarm, Wario Land, Mario's Tennis, Mario Quest. That's pretty sad. I'm sorry. Like, I can't be charitable to the Virtual Boy, not after all I've experienced. Galactic Pinball being your best game on this system is just awful. I have no memory of Robotech 64 because it didn't happen. It never got a release. It was hyped pretty hard, but yeah. All right. Anyway, we got a request out for Wario Land. So we're gonna Wario it up. It's me, Wario. Chris Warner became the GameCube one? That I have no idea. That I have... it is Virtual Boy Wario Land. Weird way to put that. But whatever. Whatever, man. Who cares? Virtual Boy Wario Land. Oh, that looks terrible. It looks terrible and doesn't sound much better. Okay, it took me a second to parse that as Wario is asleep on a chair. The fuck is that guy? What the hell is going on here? Oh, it's a bunch of little dudes carrying treasure around. Okay, great. Man just wanted his treasure. Which Wario joins a cult and gets Wicker Man. Oh, I like that when he beefs up. That's pretty funny. Okay. Ah. Why do he have a plane? Maybe that was his thing. That was gonna be his thing before they gave him the motorcycle. I lost pilot license after being involved in a near fatal accident. Ah, okay. Well, that's doing something with the 3D, I suppose. Cat. Upside, this is an actual game, not glorified tech demo for once. On the downside, it does feel like it could have been a Game Boy or SNES game. Agreed. Yeah. I mean, I will concede. This fuck. This he looks so funny. Also, he can't do shit when he's teeny. Ow, fuck. I will concede that this may have looked more impressive, been more effective in 3D, but I'd still rather play like a Game Boy or SNES version of this. Change 3. I win? Oh dang, I did. Okay, cool. Got me a whole bunch of monies. Try the heart game. Bet. Bet 100 coins. Oh, you gotta... Okay. That's actually kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of neat. Total goods. So, I'm looking at the map here. Does this game only have 14 levels? Or is this just like World 1 here? What do hearts do? I have no idea. I was wondering that myself. Oh, god damn it! Only 10 stages and 3 bosses? Seriously? That's pretty bad. Honestly. Wow. Oh, 4 bosses. Well then. I mean, that's less combat. That's less content than Wario Land on the Game Boy. And I don't need to remind you, that's on the Game Boy. Kind of. It has a second quest. New Game Plus is not gonna take the place of just having more levels. How's that robot boxing game? I can see it being pretty cool, but I didn't enjoy it. I really don't like those guys. Maybe hearts like coins get 100, get 1 up. I think maybe that's what's going on here. Again, I'm not a Wario aficionado, so I don't know for sure. But it would make sense since your coins are actually like the riches that you're collecting. I like Teller Boxer very much. I mean, that's cool. Just wasn't really my thing. Coins and treasures determine your... Yeah, I mean, it's like Wario Land on the Game Boy, right? Just with a 3D gimmick and less content. There we go. I gotta say that I like the vibe of it. Like, I never really clicked with Wario Land on the Game Boy as much as I wanted to. Like, I like collectathon platformers. I certainly do. But it just didn't feel like a whole lot was going on, you know? This one I like the vibe of it a lot more. It's a shame it has to be on the fucking Virtual Boy. When's Wario Land 2 again? Not sure. I am not sure. I'm just not familiar enough with the franchise. Question comes, why did you change your coin for hearts? I feel like I might be wrong. I mean, I think it's just giving you the option in case like you're having trouble getting through the game. You can pay for more chances. You know? Coins aren't going to do you a whole lot of good if you're dead. It's 98? Wario Land 2 is 98? Good God. Three is a really odd one out since this Wario Land and Metroidvania, but it's neat. That does sound neat, yeah. That was pretty creepy. Never played before. I was upset at dropping the immortality gimmick at the time. Ow! Dick. Oh, I wanted all that stuff, man. Well, shit. Okay, I've had enough of this. Neat Wario Land game. I wish it wasn't on the Virtual Boy. That's where I'm coming from. Cantina 4 is the one that two old indies decided to make homages to. Must have been something there. Wario Land 4 is a masterpiece? Wow. See Wario as being capable of shoving his head up some poor creature's butt and wearing him like a hat. You kind of see that too, I guess. I mean, I'm of the school of thought that believes Wario didn't really come into his own until WarioWare. Like that to me is Wario. I can appreciate alternative platformers in an era dominated by Mario and Donkey Kong, but for me, like, WarioWare is where it really made a difference. See Wario with a Mario hat now? I mean, in Mario Land 2, he basically did. There is knowledge. Wii ones also find very pretty looking too. Alright, chat. Oh, there is no, yeah. There is non-knowledge that is NT power, yeah. You're ready for 32 megabits of mayhem with Mortal Kombat 3 for Williams Entertainment. Mighty Shao Kahn has returned, successfully invading and destroying most of planet Earth. Now the evil Emperor of the Outworld claims all the souls as his own. Do you dare challenge the Emperor? Do you dare stand a chance against dark forces? Step in the arena and prepare for the fight of your life. Let's see. What's the notable stuff here? Story. Shao Kahn, the evil Emperor of the Outworld, is tired of his failed attempts to conquer the Earth. He orders his Shadow Priest to teleport the spirit of his queen, Sindel, through dimensional gates and 10,000 years into Earth's past. World history is altered and the survival of the entire human race hangs by a thread. You're a survivor. Humanity depends on your victory in the arenas of Mortal Kombat 3. Is that right? I have to second guess everything that Nintendo Power says, but I wasn't aware time travel was part of MK3's lore. I thought Outworld just showed up on Earth one day and just ruined everything. What's up, Bowser Big Bean Burrito? Have you made a connection with the other side? Not yet, but I'm trying, buddy. I'm giving it my all. I didn't like following the rules of Mortal Kombat anymore because I kept losing. Fuck it. Oh, man. So the arcade combat codes were kind of a neat idea. As you fight your way through the one-player mode, the game randomly rewards you with different codes. Be sure to write them down. These codes can subtly or radically alter your two-player matches when you enter them at the beginning of a two-player game. Arcade combat codes let you change or break the rules, make your fighters tougher, stop the clock, or play a classic arcade game. That's neat. That's neat. And you can see where the folks who eventually became NetherRealm got their sense of playfulness and like wild additions to these games. Super NES MK3 features running moves, multi-level stages, animalities, combinations, combat codes, violence control, new bosses, and new fatalities. If I know how MK works, you would need to do something special to invade Earth. This whole damn point of the tournament is that law, like law that needs to be followed. Okay, so actually, I'm gonna look this up real quick, just to make sure. I want to know for sure. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's a bit overcomplicated, but you know what? It's Mortal Kombat. This shit gets... This is nothing compared to where Mortal Kombat goes later on. I'm gonna move down here so you can see who it is we're talking about. Alright, so they got Sonya. Shao Kahn made sure that Sonya was too tied up to compete in Mortal Kombat 2. Now Special Forces agent is back, vowing to never be caught again. Says bicycle kick, shoots her rings. She can set people on fire. Oh yeah, this has a run button too. Shang Tsung is responsible for Sindel's resurrection, the devastation of the Dimension Gates. Sorcerer can morph into the form of all the MK3 contestants except Smoke. Sindel is the key to Shao Kahn's plan to destroy and rule Earth. Spears resurrect on the blue planet, blasting apart the dimensional barriers separating Earth from the Outworld. Sindel fails to avenge the defeat of her only daughter, Kitana. Kano can't keep a good thief down, I guess. Jax. Years ago, Manager Jackson Briggs deduced that Khan's Outworld forces would invade Earth. In preparation for the battle, Jax ordered his arms surgically removed and replaced with bionic implants. I don't think that's right. I'm pretty sure his arms got Mortal Kombated. And he got robot arms to replace them. Good old Liu Kang. Stryker, a SWAT officer. Stryker was in charge of a riot control brigade when Khan's forces landed. He's the lone survivor in North American city once populated by millions. I think they mean New York. Stryker refuses to draw his gun in matches. We won't discard his endless grenade supply. Yeah. Pulling a firearm on your opponent would be dishonorable, but grenades? Oh, we fucking love grenades, man. Sub-Zero. Fugitive unmasked Sub-Zero. Cyrax. One of 3 cybernetic ninjas programmed by the Lin Kuei Order. Cyrax's primary orders are located to destroy Sub-Zero. There's also Sector. Same deal. Nightwolf. Once employed as a historian and preserver of his people's culture. Nightwolf evoked an ancient magic spell to preserve the sacred land of his ancestors. A protected barrier cannot be broken until Shao Kahn destroys Nightwolf. Shiva. Shao Kahn's are a proud race that produced warriors Goro and Kintaro, while Shiva was chosen as Queen Sindel's bodyguard. To distrust the Emperor, Shao Kahn promoted Motaros as top lieutenant, and Centurions are natural enemies of the Shokan. Also, they just decided not to give her any clothes. It's the 90s, chat. Why bother? I think Vampirella was pretty popular at this point, too. Kung Lao. He's got the Razor Hat and Cabal. So when I played Mortal Kombat 11, Cabal was the character I could actually do well with. Rumors persist that Cabal's features were mutilated while fleeing an attack by Shao Kahn's death squad. The faceless warrior is kept alive by an artificial respirator and the desire for revenge. I remember watching Mortal Kombat 3 in the arcade and seeing people just pull off the most insane combos with Cabal. Like 18, 20 hit combos with him. Just silly, silly stuff. Remember that Shiva has the orbital stomp move? Yeah, it just disappears and then reappears on your face, which, I mean, I wouldn't complain about personally, but does a lot of damage too. Whether the original Jax did the arms thing himself is basically not explicitly known, and the reboot he loses them in MK. I mean, we can all just kind of assume, I think. It's a tournament where people get their heads and spinal columns punched out. Not too far bridge. Alright, and then they got some special tips, how to play as Smoke, a special Nintendo power code, you can hide energy bars, you can play Galaga in this. I'm kind of tempted to do that. Lousy arm, so easy to misplace. Let's see if I can actually remember this. It's forearm person, question, yin yang question, forearm person, Shao Kahn helmet. Help me remember this code right here, chat, because I'd really like to play Galaga in this. Alright, play some MK3. Let's see how MK3 treats me. I am generally, across the board, terrible at Mortal Kombat. Rather play Galaga than MK? I mean, same. But not because it's bad, because I am bad. I want, chat, honestly, I want to like the Mortal Kombat games more than I do. It's just, I'm a Street Fighter kid. I came up playing Street Fighter and the Capcom Versus games, and also Tekken. And Mortal Kombat doesn't work at all like any of those. There is no knowledge that is not power. Stay in school. MK3 is another one of these I was halfway decent at. Alright, let us begin. Alright. Well, I might have some concept of how to play Cabal. We'll do novice things. Muhahahaha. Muhahahaha. I have to fight like 6 people and one of them is myself. Like, come on, man.
Round 1. Fight.
Well, I found the punch button. Okay, that's good. Oh, I found the block button. Oh, good for me.
Wins.
I actually found the block button for once.
Round 2.
What's the run button?
Fight.
That. Toasty. I did a 4-hit combo, chat. Hey, I like them apples. Ah, boo.
Liu Kang wins.
Yeah, it was the other shoulder button. But you also have to push forward, too. You can't just hit it. I mean, I don't really want to continue on the very first fight. No knowledge is not power.
Come on. Choose your destiny.
Okay, so it's a different lineup of fighters every time. So I won't be fighting Liu Kang again? But I'm gonna fight myself. If I manage to get past Nightwolf.
Round 1. Fight.
Bruh. Ow. Ah, boo.
Wins.
Yep, limited credits.
Round 2. Fight.
Wish I knew. Toasty. Hey.
Wins.
Liu Kang, Bruce Lee with better pants, Johnny Cage, Tom Cruise with worse hair.
Round 3. Fight.
Superb, chat. Ah! No!
Nightwolf wins.
Boring. Okay, I think the combat code thing has to be done in 2-player mode, and I don't have another controller right now. So that's unfortunate. I'll go one more time with a different character. But yeah. I'm afraid Mortal Kombat just isn't really for me. Violence control. Wait, can I make this like super? Oh, there's a very easy. Let's do that. Let's make this in like an idiot game for babies like me. Deep dive lore being convoluted has always been a selling point. That's why I like it. A game clearly doesn't take itself seriously with Toasty Boy and all. Yes, I totally agree. I think it's the combination of just like absolutely wild ass sprawling lore and like all kinds of neat secrets and stuff tucked away in it.
Round 1. Fight.
I'm not sure idiot baby mode is idiot baby enough for me.
Round 2. Fight.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay. Yeah, they need an oddish mode.
Round 3. Fight.
Ow. God damn it. He walked into it. Hava! I don't know any of his fatalities right now. The other Cabal's weapons, they're like hook sword things. I don't know. They have a name. Like they're actual things, but I don't remember what they're called. Holy mother Jesus, what the
Wins.
This is very easy?
Round 2. Fight.
Maybe for Shang Tsung. Well, I hit him once that time. Sweet Jesus. That was no contest. That wasn't even close. Ah. Chat. We kind of knew it would end that way, but it's like Gandhi from Civilization, you see. Also, my experience with MK3, absolutely absurd difficulty. Maybe it's one of those things where it's like bugged, where like whatever difficulty you set it to after the first round, it just bounces back to normal or like very hard or something. That was the style at the time. See also XCOM. Words are backed by Atomic Arms. All right. Oh, it's time, chat. Let's talk about the history of the NES. 10 years. This fall marks the 10th anniversary of the NES, which means this fall marks the 40th anniversary of the NES. We're celebrating by taking a look back at the origin and evolution of the amazing machine that revolutionized video gaming. From a humble gray box came a decade of magical games that enchanted, excited, and amused players worldwide. From Super Mario Bros. To Tetris 2. They offered up experiences that can only be found on the NES, the system that go on to sell more than 36 million units. That is wild. In October of 1985, Back to the Future was hot at the box office. The Cosby Show and Family Ties were the talk of television. And Punch-Out was sucking up quarters at arcades nationwide. Also, I was 2 years old. The home video market, in contrast, hadn't just fallen on hard times by the mid-80s. It had burned out in a colossal blaze, fueled by stacks of lousy games. By the time Nintendo introduced the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1985, the company had a hard time at first finding anyone who was willing to give it a try. Or Nintendo is doing for its 40th anniversary? That's right, it's fuck all! And it's the same technology as the Famicom, which has become tremendously popular in Japan. NES, Nintendo knew the NES was a great product. Also knew it'd be challenging to get players in North America to try video games again. Both have been burned by Atari's Flameout. I always like these explanations. The Famicom, with its red and white casing, looked much like a toy, so it was redesigned for the US market. The first prototypes designed in the US were sleek, with top-loading game packs and wireless components, including a light gun, a keyboard, and a piano keyboard. Reaction to the system was not good. It was perhaps too sleek, and kids had no interest in the keyboards, which were eliminated. Final design was simpler and more box-like than the prototype. It included two peripherals designed to intrigue players, the Zapper light gun and a robotic operating buddy, Rob for short. Rob stood all of 9.5 inches tall, and he operated with two games, Gyromite and Stack Up. The NES with Rob and the Zapper launched in New York City with a library of 17 games, including baseball, Clue Land, Donkey Kong Jr., Math, Duck Hunt, Excite Bike, Golf, Gyromite, Hogan's Alley, Ice Climber, Kung Fu, Mock Rider, Pinball, Stack Up, Super Mario Brothers, Tennis 10-Yard Fight, and Wrecking Crew. From there, sales moved to Los Angeles the following February, and by September of '86, they went national. The phenomenon had begun. What was the point of the robot anyway? Like they were just saying, it was to get kids interested. It was to draw kids in, because, you know, a box you connect to your TV isn't exciting on its own, but if it comes with a fucking robot that you can technically play video games with, that's gonna get people a lot more excited. And I suppose it did. Yeah, to sell toys. What did it do? So, he worked with 2 games, Gyromite and Stack Up. In Gyromite, Rob balanced spinning gyros on platforms, and in Stack Up, he stacked up colored blocks to match the on-screen display. He basically just mimicked what was going on screen in these 2 different puzzle games. It was very much a gimmick. Yeah, it was play up to 2 games with you using the power of Jang. Had a robot tape player that taught me trivia about many topics called 2XL. Alright. Nintendo Power's top 10. List of NES games is already long when Nintendo Power's first top 10 list printed in July 1988. Players, pros, and retail dealers all voted for the best plays of the day. So in July of 1998, The Legend of Zelda was the greatest game of all time. Followed by Mike Tyson's Punch-Out!, Metroid, Super Mario Brothers, Kid Icarus, RC Pro-Am, Ice Hockey, Rad Racer, Top Gun, and Double Dribble. Oh yeah, Rob was not a system, Rob was a peripheral. Rob was a peripheral for exactly 2 games. So yeah, not a whole lot of value there, frankly. And it said absolutely garbage peripherals. It really did. It really, I mean, the Zapper was cool. Let's give credit where credit is due. The Zapper was an excellent light gun. Beyond that, yeah, trash. All of the alternate controllers for the NES were bad to completely unplayable. There was the track and field map. I don't remember how many games that supported, but I don't remember that being particularly notable. Zapper was worse than the Sega Master System's light gun, in my opinion. I mean, I've never tried the Master System's light gun, so I can't say. But, you know. Captain Ed made great use of the Zapper. And the mouse, the printer, the work boy, or any other random unsupported Nintendo junk. Yeah, they had some really, really bizarre third-party peripherals too. Like there was that one like headpiece that had like the scope over your eye that was like voice activated or some shit. There was the Miracle Piano System, which had exactly 1 game for it. The metallic pang of the Zapper was everything. Yeah, it really was. It really, really was. Oh god, the Power Glove! I forgot the Power Glove. It was so bad, I forgot it. What a fucking ridiculous idea that was. The Power Glove had like 1 game specifically for it, right? The rest of the time you just kind of had to struggle to use it like a normal controller, except it was a controller you could only use with 1 hand. It was in the Wizard. Oh my god, the Power Glove. Amazing idea with terrible functionality. To this day, I still don't actually know what the Power Glove was supposed to do. Like were you actually supposed to be able to control stuff on screen with like gestures and stuff? Was the Power Glove heavily featured in a movie? Yeah, The Wizard. Yeah, the like 90-minute Nintendo commercial. The movie that revealed Super Mario Bros. 3 to the world. That's where you get the immortal line, "I love the Power Glove, it's so bad." Freddy using a Nightmare on Elm Street kill, does he seriously? Power Glove had IR sensors, projectors, registered movements, and finger flexing is button pressing. Oh, okay. I won a Power Glove in a contest, didn't own an NES, so I had to give it to my cousin. I wonder how much it would set me back to get a Power Glove now. Probably a lot. Oh, yeah. Oh, sweet Jesus, yeah. God, this thing looks insane. Oh my god, it actually had... Oh, I didn't realize this. The Power Glove actually had like a sensor array that you had to set up around it to make it work, right? Huh. Except sensors around your TV. Does it let you pick up rocks, pots, and bushes? Only if you know the right gestures for it. Not elephant statues, though. Anyway, Kid Icarus was requested. Let's go ahead and do that before we turn the page. Oh boy, back to the NES chat. This is a real treat. I love the Super NES. It's my favorite system of all time, but the NES is special. I say this a lot. I realize this, but like truly, my first three systems, the NES, the SNES, and the Game Boy, are all very, very special to me for different reasons. The Super NES is my favorite system of all time. Like, I love it to death. I love everything about it. I love the way games feel and sound on it. The NES, like, it was my first game system. And, like, these crunchy, old, bizarre games have a really, really special place in my heart. And then the Game Boy, I just absolutely fell in love with that, with its aesthetic, and in particular, the feel of having an entire, complete RPG in my hand, like you did with the old Saga games. Having a vast adventure right there in your handheld, like with Final Fantasy Adventure and Link's Awakening. Longing for more NES so bad he's excited to play Kid Icarus. I am, actually. I don't particularly like Kid Icarus, but I'm just happy we're here. Nightmare 6, Freddy's dead. Frey says during the sequence, now I'm playing with power. Kinda surprised Nintendo was okay with that. Chat, I know I played Kid Icarus before. I didn't beat it, did I? No memory? I'm wondering now. Gonna say no. I feel like I got pretty far in it. I'm finished. Game's rough. I'll have to go look and see how far I got in it. Kid Icarus Max Politana is apparently what you get when you turn Pallas Athena into Japanese and Backland into English. Oh, you know what? That actually makes sense. That actually makes sense. Found super challenging until someone found the final level invincible code. I know you really don't want to fuck with death in this. Made me sad there's no way to play Kid Icarus Uprising. It doesn't involve pulling out 3DS. Cool, thanks. But the modern Kid Icarus is pretty good. When was that? Okay. I guess I'm finished. Man. $2012? That's retro. Fucking 13 years ago. That has been forever, hasn't it? Who here has beaten Kid Icarus? Mario Wonder plays basically like NES and SNES. Mario Uprising has nothing from this except the mobs and the basic concepts. Huh. Legit beaten? Never. You have Manic? You have Eva? I just practiced that. I just practiced that. It's just this, GB Kid Icarus, and Uprising. Missed out on this whole series. I mean, this is the only one that I've played, and I've only played it as part of the Power Hours. Pit has as many appearances in Smash as in his own games. There we go. Are you okay, sir? Game Boy had Kid Icarus of Myths and Monsters. Whoa, what the hell? Dude, when I shoot something, I expect it to die. I did it! I beat a level. Unbelievable. Here we go again. How long is this game? $13 levels, okay. Not long if you're not dying constantly. Yeah, it does seem like the mitigating factor here is the difficulty. What do you say? Try buying from me. No, I don't think I will. Shit. Oh, what the hell? I didn't ask for this. Three stages, an act, then a castle, then after 3 acts, the final stage is an auto-scroller. Okay. That's Sakurai's weird one-offs, and I'm sad about Meteos instead. Ah, come on, man. Do. Alright. I think I've had enough of redoing these stages. Yeah, Kid Icarus was never my... I mean, I didn't play Kid Icarus when I was a kid. I've only played as part of the Power Hours. And it's got that... Like, the old NES games, like the original, like... The launch titles and the games that came out the first year or so, with the exception of Mario, had this like weird stickiness to their platforming. If you played Ice Climbers, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like there's this stickiness and stiffness to the movement where like you're committed to everything you're doing. Like, there's not a whole lot you can do to kind of, like, right yourself once you've made a jump or something. Had Ice Climber 2, that's, yeah. Yeah, the jumping in Ice Climbers is, I can't handle that shit. That's a really weird game for me. Jumping is roughly 320% of the game. Yeah. September of 1987, Nintendo upped the play value of the system. by packing Super Mario Bros. In with the NES. Players had gotten to know Mario in the arcade, but it wasn't until he went home with the NES he became a household name. Then beating Bowser became a global goal, and the Minus World became part of every kid's vocabulary. Bro Luigi, Mario showed players just how fun an action game could be, and along the way it became more popular than even Mickey Mouse! More about Mario, cameos in Dr. Mario and Golf, Legend of Zelda, Samus. Out of the popularity of the NES grew the Nintendo Fun Club, which introduced which included a newsletter that was first printed in 1987. It was produced quarterly, and soon there were 2.5 million members, all screaming for even more codes and tricks. Nintendo decided the players needed something bigger, a magazine packed with secret tips, winning strategies, and full-color maps. A magazine that would help players get the most from their games. The result, Nintendo Power. First issue printed in July 1988 was sent free to all Fun Club members, and more than 1 million of them paid to become regular subscribers to what was, in the beginning, a bi-monthly magazine. That's kind of crazy to think about, chat. That they started out with over 1 million subscribers to Nintendo Power. That's pretty significant. Some of the stuff Nintendo Power is hopping. Goddamn, what's up, Drake now? Mario cameos in Dr. Mario. Not sure they understand what a cameo is. Nintendo Power went monthly in January of '91, featuring all the best games made for the NES: Kid Icarus, Metroid, Mega Man, Castlevania, Zelda 2, Ninja Gaiden, Double Dragon, Adventure Island, Battletoads, Blaster Master, Bomberman, Contra, Dragon Warrior, Final Fantasy, Ghosts and Goblins, Adventures of Lolo, Tecmo Super Bowl, Punch-Out, Rad Racer, RC Pro-Am, Ice Hockey. All of them have been in the spotlight on the pages of Nintendo Power. All became NES classics. Some more deserving than others. You know, you're right. Disney was not doing very well in the late 80s, early 90s. They didn't really have Mickey, like, on TV and out in front of kids. I wasn't a big Disney kid. Like, I would go see their movies, and I certainly enjoyed them. But yeah, Disney wasn't really putting in the work to get kids, like, hooked on their characters and franchises. At least not until, like, the afternoon cartoon lineup. When they started going in on, like, DuckTales and Tailspin and Aladdin and shit like that. But even then, that didn't really feature Mickey, you know? Mickey was like... For most of my life, Mickey has been like a figurehead of Disney, and not really like a compelling character on his own. Yeah, DuckTales definitely took off hard. I fucking love DuckTales, man. DuckTales, Rescue Rangers... Tailspin. I really, really like those. Mickey sucks as a character. I do think modern... Well, I mean, they're practically like reimaginings, like The Wonderful World of Mickey Mouse. I think they make him, like, genuinely fun. I think they take the original concept, the original airs of the character, and take him in a different direction, and it's really, really entertaining. The NES, for all the years of powerful fun it served up, gave way to new generations of both players and systems. It's no surprise, though, the players who move on to the Super NES still go back to play their favorite classics on the NES. Like I do, chat. Just like I do. For one more shot at Bowser, one more trip through Hyrule, one more battle with the Mother Brain. They may be 8-bit, but they're still gaming at its best. It's the games themselves, not the graphics, not the music, not the pure processing power that make the fun. The NES make it all happen. Nintendo Power's Top 10 from 1994. The final list ran in December of 1994. It was Zelda, Mario 3, Mega Man 6, Metroid, NES Open Tournament Golf, Zelda 2, Dr. Mario, Final Fantasy, Nintendo World Cup, and Baseball Stars. Brings a tear to the eye, chat. Good old NES. Timeless, timeless classic. This is why Nintendo Power constantly talks about processing power and graphics. Just don't worry about that. It doesn't count when we're talking about the NES, man. It only counts when we're talking about the modern era. it's classics. They're exempt. Those Disney Edutainment things from the 70s on reruns and newer wave animation features didn't come out until later. Yeah, much later, really. There was a big gap in there when Disney was kind of a non-entity for my generation. I knew Disney a lot more for their princesses and their fairy tale adventures than for Mickey or Minnie or Donald or Goofy. So. All right, chat, moving on. Oh, the Spoodermans. Speedermans. Separation Anxiety, an unholy alliance, claims long-standing relationship with Marvel's Spider-Man, continues the debut of Separation Anxiety, a two-player fighter for the Super NES. This time out, Spidey finds himself in a pact with his dark nemesis, Venom. Although the unlikeliest of allies, they must work as a team, aided occasionally by other Marvel heroes, to prevent the sinister Life Foundation from unleashing Venom's 5 symbiotes in a wave of worldwide terror. 13 levels of non-stop action and 5 special trap rooms await the duo. Taking them from the Dark City streets to the Foundation's very core, along the way they'll face thugs, droids, foot soldiers, a 5-member mercenary force known as the Jury, and the dreaded symbiotes themselves. Non-sock? I was like the 70s and the 80s. I have a growing... I'm joining this modern movement of people who have a growing nostalgia for eras they weren't actually alive for. I think that's where my my enthusiasm for watching Columbo comes from. I like visions of an America that, deeply flawed as it was, actually seemed fairly functional. When caught at the corner of the eye when looking at something else, the Venom face next to the smash and dash heading looks like Hornet's mask. Oh, it does! Yeah, good point. And yeah, Columbo's just a really good show. Just a really good, really clever, really charming show. It helps, chat. Sometimes little Peter Falk is just what you need to get through the day. Well, Spidey and Venom are best known for the web-spinning and wall-crawling skills of Separation Anxiety, as their hand-to-hand fighting abilities are tested to the max. Follow a simple strategy, brawling will be a breeze. Enemies begin surrounding you, move straight up and down, which will cause the villains to line up in a row on one side of the screen. Keep moving up and down, bopping baddies one at a time as they cross your path. Technique may seem a little awkward at first, but trust us, is better than becoming a Spidey sandwich. For decades, my favorite movie was The Fox and the Hound. Animation from that period was really, really interesting. I mean, there was, there was a fair bit of cheap recycled stuff then, depending on what you were watching, but... Excuse me. The stuff that actually bothered to have a budget was, like, really, really nice. Just telling you how to play any brawler there, really don't stand next to the bad guy, you know. What other show lets you watch Dr. Breen Wine? Columbo? I'm trying to watch the game! Alright, Mean Streets. Spidey and Venom begin the mission on the dimly lit streets of Manhattan. First trial, the jury member will be very sure if you move quickly. What else are we gonna do? Climb across a bridge. Go through a forest. Underground. Shopping mall. Foundation, security, hothouse. Seems like they're just kind of making up whatever they wanted here. So yeah, and you fight Carnage at the end. Okay. I don't think that's very surprising. No. We played this one before, chat, and honestly, the Spidey brawlers on Super NES didn't seem that good. They were pretty awkward. And you can kind of tell, like, I have a problem with brawlers that are just like, take a couple steps forward and like beat up a big group of guys, then take a couple more steps forward and beat up a big group of guys. Like, this underground level it's just a hallway. It's really just a hallway. You walk down the hallway and you fight the enemies that show up. The mall looks like 3 stacked hallways. This level might be more interesting, but I mean, these are all hallways, so. But the other symbiotes were made from Carnage anyway. Carnage is a separate symbiote from Venom, if I remember right. They sure make it seem like these are all like Venom's offspring. But yeah, I'm not that familiar with this era of Spider-Man comics, so I couldn't really say. It was the 90s, anything could happen. So yeah. Oh boy, chat, we've made it to the sports scene. It's time for some winning 96 sequels. Carnage is an offshoot of Venom, originally became a whole other character. It always seemed, my limited knowledge of Carnage always made it seem to me like they came up with Venom as like the ultimate Spider-Man villain, and then he was really popular, so he kind of morphed into an anti-hero. So then they were like, okay, well, we don't want to give up on this concept, but we need an actual villain here. So they made Carnage, who was just Venom, but like completely evil. Give me variations, more elaborate moves, no, not longer health bar. This health bar is now green, yeah. Venom's influenced by Spidey is not a complete sociopath. Carnage is like what happens if Venom has no morals at all. Yeah. Carnage is edgy Venom. Alright, what are we talking about? NBA Live 96. We can play some basketballs with the people. This is like an isometric basketball game. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. I feel like the side view of NBA Jam might kind of be ideal, but this could work, I suppose. Wasn't Venom originally not evil, but then attached himself to Eddie, who gave him negative emotions? I mean, it was like the symbiote originally attached itself to Peter, right? And that's when Spider-Man had his black phase, where he was kind of more extreme and more aggro, and eventually decided he didn't want it. And then the symbiote fell on Eddie, who was more open to its violent tendencies, amplifying negative emotions of Peter when it was his suit. Yeah, and Eddie had more negative emotions and less control. So Eddie Brock was a news report that Peter got fired, says beef with Peter and the symbiote's beef with Spider-Man combined. Yeah, I wasn't reading the Spider-Man comics at the time, but I watched the Fox Kids TV series, which I know took some liberties with the story, streamlined some stuff, changed some things. So I hesitate to speak authoritatively on this, but I know the broad strokes at least. I know a heck of a lot without being a fan. I mean, it's also one of those like cultural osmosis things. When you get like when you get a really popular character like Wolverine, you know, you're gonna, if you have any passing interest in like certainly the X-Men, but like superheroes or superhero movies or comic books in general, you're gonna kind of osmose up some information about Wolverine. I think Venom was pretty accurate there. All right, basketball. There's some foosball. Madden 96. If you need more John Madden in your ear telling you how to win the game by scoring more points. The final Tecmo Super Bowl 3, the final edition. Kind of skimming these for any surprise shade from Nintendo Power because they do seem to sneak that in some of their sports reviews. Oh, you play HeroClix. There's a lot I didn't know that you do now. Besides the PS2 one, were there any other decent Hulk games? No idea. SNES Hulk, I hear, isn't bad. I didn't have a very good time with it personally. But that also could have been me. Power Hours doesn't... I don't always take the time on the Power Hours to really get completely acclimated to these games, so I'm certainly not the end-all, be-all when evaluating these things. I mean, case in point, people generally love Donkey Kong Country 2, but I'm not a fan. So yeah, NHL 96, it's hockey. Also, Wayne Gretzky in the NHL PA All-Star. Oh my gosh, yeah. Oh. Excuse me. I was doing real good on energy until the 11 o'clock hour, and now it's just like, whoa. Hulk is a video game. It's hard to get right. Hulk is difficult to challenge in ways that video games play. Yeah. Similar with Superman. I feel like developers have always had a difficult time making a decent Superman game. Because it's not really Superman who's in danger being challenged. It's the innocents around him. Decent version of Superman on GameCube. It'd be cool if the recent like James Gunn Superman movie inspired a similar Superman video game that really kind of understood the character. I see what you did there, Eva, and everybody saw it. One everyone's talking about now is Dispatch. Yeah, I mean that got a front page takeover on Steam when it came out. Ultimate Destruction did that pretty well. N64 is incredibly undecent, generally suggesting having a look at the GameCube version. Okay, okay. Well, eventually we will get to GameCube stuff, and I'll have an excuse to take a look. Solve my maze as Superman. Alright, FIFA 96. Seriously kicked. Konami kicks grass. International Superstar Soccer Deluxe. I'm skimming for shade and I'm not seeing it. Escalates a lot. The main conflict is based around Banner not wanting to be the Hulk. That's cool. Dispatch's concept reminds me a lot of the Superhero League of Hoboken. Oh, I know that. I know that. That was a pretty cool concept. All right, it's sports chat. I really just don't care, especially about some Emmitt Smith football. This looks especially technical. Actually did an interview with Emmitt Smith over this. This is basically just another ad for the game, so. Oh, I know this game. Yeah, we definitely played this game. We absolutely played this game. Also, before some totally ridiculous Hulk power creep stories. Big Sky Trooper, you're in the army now. Following the whimsical footsteps of Zombie 8, My Neighbors, comes LucasArts' newest adventure title, Big Sky Crapper. Though it looks and feels much like Zombies, Big Sky Trooper is aimed at a slightly younger crowd. Novice commandos will appreciate the simpler puzzles, the multitude of clever power-ups, and the huge life bar. As the newest and most gullible recruit in the Space Corps, you're given command of your own starship. In order to deal with the encroaching threat of the Sultan of Slime and his gooey slug armada, assisting you is Fido, your ship's canine computer, and your best buddy. Fido is indispensable, outlining mission orders, helping you run the ship, explaining new items, and automatically beaming you back aboard when your life bar runs out. What a pal. Alright, the invading slugs have sabotaged the fabled quantum mechanics machines. You know, the machines that keep the universe from deflating and stuff like that. It's your job to repair them. Fido explains each mission in turn. Pinpoint your next destination on the star map. Most of your time we've spent exploring the more than 100 planets in your sector. That's a big number, chat. That is a shockingly big number. Planetary conditions vary. You may not be able to fully explore a planet until you obtain a specific suit upgrade. That's cool. Yeah, this was interesting. I didn't... I got a little stuck in it, if I remember correctly. But yeah, pretty unique concept. I remember the intro is pretty goofy, with this guy convincing you to sign up for the army. Man, I am just oh God. Ah. I was falling apart. Now I'm just ready for the end, I think. Alright, chat. I mentioned before, recently, in fact, maybe as recently as last week, I am just not a fan of gross out humor. I never have been. I don't find farts and poops inherently funny. It's just never been my thing, and that's one of the reasons why I leaned away from stuff like Ren and Stimpy and Beavis and Butthead. Never really got into those as a kid, and I really super was not interested in Booger Man, a pick and flick adventure. Like, it's all that this game is gross out stuff. I mean, you can see his moves up there. He can pick his nose, he can belch, he can hawk loogies, he can fart on things. Like, I don't need it. I don't need it, chat. I don't need it in my life. I noticed that on the left-hand page, the introduction to the game is written in a character voice, Miss Mind Your Manners. But it doesn't look like they stuck with that for the entire feature, which is probably wise. It would have ended up in the same vein as the Earthbound one. I mean, your game starts in the flatulent swamps. You're looking for, like, toilets and giant noses to climb into. Like, it's so juvenile. It really is. I always skipped over this feature when I was a kid because it was so gross looking. It looked so nasty and I wanted no part of it. Made $7.5 million probably. I think it was fairly popular. I can check, honestly. Since we're here, I am curious. I'm not seeing anything on how many copies it sold. It was well received by critics. So. Brother needs some new shoes. Brother needs a lot of things in his life that we cannot and will not provide him. Yeah, this is not for me. This is not for me either. All right, chat. I tell you what we're gonna do. Since I am tired, since I'm fading a bit already, I think I'm gonna go ahead and stop here. The Epic Center always seems like a good place for us to end, so that we can launch into it fresh. Mine whatever games you want out of the news page, play whatever's within it, and then roll on to the rest of the magazine. So I think I'm gonna call another early night tonight, get some more sleep, rest up tomorrow, prepare for the week ahead, and more Super NES stuff. Final Fantasy VII for the NU64, yeah. Squaresoft recently exhibited some awesome animation at SIGGRAPH, the computer graphics convention in LA. The buzzword was that the animators were taken from Final Fantasy VII for the NU64. So Square didn't confirm that. Wonder why. Can we request Final Fantasy VII next week? Let me think about it. I don't actually have a playable version of Final Fantasy VII handy. So we'll see. But I will take it under consideration. I might be willing to get real weird for you next week. But yeah. Anyway, chat. Yeah, I think that's gonna do it for tonight. We did good. We made some good progress. We requested Final Fantasy VI on N64 tech demo. I didn't even know that was a thing. I had no awareness of that. But I suppose if it is a thing, it would have to be emulated on Nintendo 64, and I'm not set up for that, so. All right, schedule reminder. Tomorrow night, nothing. Don't show up here. Don't come around here expecting to be entertained, because you won't. I won't be here. I'll be off doing other shit. Probably playing Farthest Frontier or something. Monday, we'll be back to Final Fantasy IV and the Underground. We'll be chugging right along in that Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Thursday, we'll be back here. We'll be exploring the Epic Center next Thursday. The night before Halloween night itself, next Friday, will be the October Community Night. We'll be playing a bunch of people's first horror games ever and talking about them. And then I suppose the Power Hours will continue into next Saturday, so. That is the plan, chat. That's what we're gonna do. Let me see if I can raid somebody. Oh, we can raid somebody. We can, there's lots of people to raid. Damn, everybody's up tonight. How about that? I think I will send you to... Oh, I'm gonna send you over to Maryland Katz. It looks like it's her streamerversary tonight, and she's doing Void Stranger, which I'll actually probably pop out of because I still, much to my chagrin, I still haven't really done much Void Stranger myself, other than what you saw on the channel. Anyway, chat, thank you all so much for coming out tonight. Thank you for joining me for the start of another issue of Nintendo Power. And some pretty decent progress into it. We're 50 pages in. We got past most of the big name Super NES games in here. And we've got the Epic Center to look forward to next week. So, hopefully, I will see you all on Monday when we pick back up with Final Fantasy IV. Until then, as always, y'all take care. Bye, everybody.